Today, we're digging into the fascinating economic story of Morocco. It's a real paradox, a tale of incredible growth that, when you look a little closer, is hiding some really big social challenges. So this is the big question, right? Is Morocco this unstoppable economic engine? Or is there a social time bomb ticking underneath? On the surface, it looks like a powerhouse in North Africa. Stable, growing, the whole package. But underneath, it's wrestling with a problem that could actually derail all of that progress. Okay, let's start with the good news because there's a lot of it. In a region that's seen its fair share of turmoil, Morocco has really carved out a niche for itself as a beacon of stability. And that stability has become its superpower. It's what makes Morocco a magnet for foreign investment. I mean, while its neighbors have been dealing with one crisis after another, Morocco has managed to ride out some massive global storms. We're talking the pandemic, inflation, even serious droughts, with some pretty amazing resilience. And this isn't just wishful thinking. The optimism is very real. Big institutions like the IMF and Fitch are predicting that economic growth could hit almost 5% in 2025. That's nearly double this year's rate. We're talking about some serious momentum here. So what's actually fueling this engine? Where is all this growth coming from? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a few key sectors that are really pushing the country forward. First up, the automotive industry. And when I say it's big, I mean it's an absolute giant. We're talking over 500,000 vehicles rolling off the line every year. With huge players like Renault and Stellantis setting up shop, it's become a massive part of the country's exports. Next up, green energy. Morocco is not messing around here. They've set this incredibly ambitious goal to get more than half of all their electricity from renewables by 2030. And with projects like the enormous Noor Ouarzazate solar plant, you can tell they are dead serious about making it happen. And then, of course, there's tourism. The goal is to bring in 26 million visitors by 2030. And, that goal got a serious boost from the news that Morocco is co-hosting the 2030 FIFA World Cup. That's a game changer. So, as you can see, this growth isn't a fluke. It's not a one-trick pony. It's built on this really diverse foundation across 6 powerful sectors, all working together to create a pretty robust economic engine. But, and this is a huge but, all of this incredible growth, all this good news is hiding a really deep problem. This is where the story gets complicated, and it's the paradox we really need to understand. And here it is, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you've got this booming economy growing like crazy. And on the other, a record high unemployment rate. How is that even possible? How can both of these things be true at the same time? It just doesn't seem to add up. Well, the World Bank has a pretty straightforward answer. It's a structural problem. For the last 10 years, the Moroccan economy simply hasn't been creating enough jobs for the number of people who need one. The engine is running hot, yeah, but it's leaving an awful lot of people standing on the side of the road. And when you dig into the numbers, the picture gets even clearer. This unemployment crisis doesn't hit everyone equally. It hits 2 groups the hardest: women and young people. We're talking about nearly 1 out of every 5 young Moroccans being out of a job. And that right there, that points us to a major piece of this puzzle. Which brings us to what might be the single biggest factor behind this paradox: the role of women in the economy. Could unlocking their potential actually be the key to solving this whole thing?
Now, this is where the story takes a really surprising turn. As a country develops, you'd expect more women to join the workforce, right? Well, in Morocco, the exact opposite has happened. The rate has actually plummeted from 30% down to just 19% in the last 25 years. That's one of the lowest rates anywhere in the world.
So what is going on here? A fascinating study from the World Bank points to deeply ingrained social norms. Get this, only about 21% of people surveyed think it's okay for a woman to work if she has a child under 3 years old. But here's the really wild part. The study found this huge gap between what people believe personally and what they think other people believe. Individually, 81% of people say, yeah, I support women working, but they believe only about half of their community feels the same way. So it's not just personal beliefs holding things back, it's the fear of being judged by their neighbors. So that's the challenge. It's a big one. What is Morocco's plan to actually fix this? How are they going to connect all that economic growth to real prosperity for everyone? Well, the government has a roadmap. It's called the New Development Model, and it basically boils down to 3 main strategies. First, get more private investment going. Second, expand the social safety net. And third, And this is a big one. Improve education and make sure people have the skills they need for the jobs of the future.
And they've got a massive catalyst right on the horizon. Co-hosting the 2030 World Cup is expected to be a huge economic jolt. We're talking billions pouring into infrastructure, tourism, and services, which should create a ton of jobs and really fast-track the country's development plans.
And so, we end right back where we started. Morocco is at a critical crossroads. It has the economic growth, it has the stability, and it has a plan. The real question is whether it can solve the stubborn employment paradox and finally turn all of its economic success into real, shared prosperity for all its citizens. The next decade is going to be absolutely decisive.